called motor neuron disease. Life expectancy is 2 years.
I want us to be together for as long as we've got.
It'll affect everything.
You don't realize what lies ahead. This is going to be a very heavy defeat.
But I love him. And he loves me. We're going to fight.
Astrophysicist Stephen Hawking is known as one of the world's greatest living minds. But for every great man, there's a great woman. And the new biographical film, The Theory of Everything, tells a story of how he met and fell in love with his former wife, Jane. And joining us this morning is the man who plays Stephen, actor Eddie Redmayne. Eddie, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
So, when you play a role like this,
yeah,
Stephen Hawking, a guy whose body is failing him at every level, and you have to become him. What a heavy role. How did you prepare for this?
That's a good question. It was a very intimidating, but also like a great privilege to be given the opportunity to meet and to play Stephen. I went to an ALS clinic in London and met many people who were suffering from the disease and their families as part of the prep, but also met Stephen and his family, and he's the most like passionate, funny, like fun-loving man, and it was incredibly inspiring for me. I had an amazing time.
Helpful then to have met him. That informed your, your ability to play him.
Absolutely, absolutely. But when I met him, it was a few days before we started filming, and by this point I'd done 4 or 5 months worth of research. So actually meeting the man in person I was pretty intimidated, and I was so nervous that I ended up just telling Stephen Hawking about Stephen Hawking for about 25 minutes. So it was a bit embarrassing, but then...
Yeah. Do you know if he's seen the movie and what his reaction's been?
No, he has seen the movie, and he's been incredibly generous about it. When we made the film, we used a sort of approximation, like a synthesized version of his iconic voice, and after seeing the film, he gave us his voice. So he gave us the copyright to his voice. So it was very moving for us.
Wow. So for folks who don't know the whole story, this is not your typical romance. I mean, it goes, the movie shows the relationship, and it's able to persevere through so many difficulties and ups and downs. But at the end, it doesn't really work out. What do you hope viewers who see this movie sort of take away?
Well, for me, when I knew it was a film about Stephen Hawking, I thought it would be a biopic about the science and all the things that he'd done in that sort of realm. But for me, it's like an analysis of love. It's like passionate love, young love, love of a subject matter, but also the failings and the foibles of love. But it's ultimately a sort of deeply inspiring film, whilst not a sort of glossed over version of what his life and his romance was.
Do you feel like a smarter person having played Stephen Hawking?
Oh, I wish. I wish. No, no. I gave up science when I was about 13, so the greatest acting feat for me on this was trying to persuade the world that I knew what I was talking about.
Oh, well, from all accounts, you certainly accomplished that and then some. Got to ask you, the movie you were in, Jupiter Ascending, was shot, a lot of it was shot here, but your particular part was not? Is
Irritatingly
that
not, yeah. The film is half set in Chicago, half in outer space, and I'm...
You were the outer space part.
I'm the outer space guy. so we shot in studios in Pinewood. I was begging to see if I could come, but they wouldn't have me.
Well, we're glad you're here. Do you have any particular things you want to do here while you're in Chicago?
Do you know, I'm just here for a day or two. I want to take one of the architectural tours.
Yes.
To see some of the, the extraordinary buildings.
Fantastic.
That's the plan, anyway.
I would suggest that as well.
Is that a good idea?
Eddie, it's great to see you. The movie drops here in Chicago November 14th.
That's right, yeah.
We appreciate you coming in. All the best. It's terrific to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Eddie.